Well, a very good morning from Phuket, and today we're going to be taking another look at the area known as Cape Panwa. Now it's been 12 months, actually just over 12 months since I was last here, so let's hope we see some improvement. I know there's a few people in my Facebook group who have been asking me about this area because they are planning on coming on holiday in the next few months. So we're now standing on the promenade of Panwa, as most people call it, or the Cape of Panwa, and we're just in front of the Country Hotel. So there is the hotel, as you can see, and that does have a coffee shop as well, which is open. Now the Phuket Aquarium, last time I was here, wasn't open, but I'm glad to say that has now reopened. I don't know what it's like because I've been one time many years ago. I think it was about 10 years ago, to be honest, so I can't really remember, but it is an attraction here that is now open, so that's good. And as you can see, we have the seafront here at Panwa. Very nice view, but not really much in the way of a beach. The beach is just at the end of the promenade. Now the promenade, I've noticed, is currently under construction. There's some building along here, so let's have a little walk around Panwa, see what's open. There used to be a restaurant just over there, but unfortunately, as you can see, that has not yet reopened and it is up for rent. Now over the last few weeks I haven't been doing any updates on the changes that's been happening over in Thailand recently, and of course as from the 1st of July this month we've seen a lot of what was the restrictions being removed, so that's great news for Thailand and of course people that are travelling to Thailand. The actual mandate for the masks has now been removed in public areas, but there are a few exceptions. In crowded areas they do expect you to put a mask on, and of course businesses have the right to ask people to wear a mask when inside their premises, depending on the business. Now that's why basically I still carry it. I don't wear it very often, but out of respect to the Thai people, because the Thai people are still very concerned about the situation here, and a lot of the Thai people I've noticed are actually choosing to wear their masks. It's a mixed bag on the way in. There's some businesses that are open and there's some businesses that are not, so it may pay you to have a wander around. If you've got some transport, I would recommend you have some transport if you're coming to Panwa, because Panwa itself is not that large, and at the minute there isn't a lot open, I'll be honest with you. I was hoping to see some changes here because of last time I reported was over 12 months ago, as I say, and now we're in the position where the mask mandate has been removed. You no longer require the Thai pass to come into the country, nor do you require any insurance. So most of the restrictions have now gone here in Thailand, which is a great step forward, and tourism is slowly, and I must emphasize the word slowly, picking up, and there are more travellers coming into the country. It's going to take a little bit of time for things to pick up, so there's going to be some areas around Phuket that's still struggling, and I think Panwa is one of those areas. Now Panwa is an area where you find a lot more of the discerning traveller coming. That's not to say backpackers don't come to this area, but it's not really geared for those type people, because most of the hotels here in Panwa are 5-star hotels. You have of course the Crown Plaza, you have the Pullman, the Sir Panwa, the Cape Panwa Hotel, you have the Amatara Hotel, so lots of big names here and some very nice accommodation. But what's actually on offer in Cape Panwa? Well, there used to be quite a lot of shops along here, but as you can see some of them have closed. There was the Panwa Seaside Beachfront. I don't know whether that's a accommodation or a restaurant. It's not currently open. There are people inside, maybe they're getting it ready to reopen. We have the Swadi restaurant and bar, which has moved from the main road further outside of Panwa to here. That is open. And then we also have a restaurant called the Blue Wave. Now that is open, and then the other restaurant is the one that's just here in the distance. That's also open. So you've got 3 restaurants here on the front at Panwa to choose from. This one is more like a cafe than a restaurant. I'm not quite sure of their opening times, but it does, I think it is a restaurant, but it gives an impression that it's a cafe style restaurant, whereas the Swadi is a restaurant and not so much as a cafe. So maybe an evening meal overlooking the nice view across there. But that's really, it's on the front here. There's only this one road here that runs through Panwa. It's just one road, that's it, and it just goes to the end. Now there is a turning just down there that leads up the hill, and I have had a quick look up there. Again, at the minute there's not a lot open, so it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so you can see the sort of position here. There's not many people about at all in the afternoon. Whether it's going to be any different at night time, I don't know. I am going to try and come back over later this evening and take a look, and if I manage to do that, I will insert that footage. But at the moment there isn't a great deal open. There's 3 restaurants in total along this stretch, and of course you have the beach area, as I mentioned, just here, if you want to call it. It's a small beach, it's not fantastic, but as I've said before, Panwa is quite close to Ao Yon, which is a lovely beach. If you're after beaches, then Ao Yon is a great beach. So beaches aren't really an issue here in Panwa, but if you've got no transport, then your only transport's going to be taxis, and your best bet is going into Phuket Town, because obviously Phuket Town from here is a straight road, literally on this road that we're walking along now. Just follow it and keep following it until you hit Phuket Town. So it's very easy to find Phuket Town, and that journey will take you about 15 minutes, and you've got an absolute treasure trove of restaurants and businesses in Phuket Town that are all open that you can choose from. Some lovely restaurants, and this is an area that I want to cover on my channel. I've been saying it for quite some time that I'm going to do Phuket Town both daytime and evening time, because it really is a great place if you're not looking for, shall we say, adult entertainment, whereas the girly bars, if you're coming over here with your family, you've got children, and you don't want all that, the girly bars and all that, and you're not looking at staying in Patong, you want something different, then Phuket Town, definitely in the evening time, is a good choice, because there's some jazz clubs, there's some other type of entertainment that you can have that's not going to bother your family in any way. It's not adult related in any way, so you can have some really good food and evening entertainment. There's a lot of bars over there that don't have girls in them, of course, working, and just some really nice places that I want to cover. So that is your best bet from here. But of course, if you haven't got your own transport, then you're going to have to take taxis. Now I am going to try and find out the cost from Panwa into Phuket Town if I can, but honestly I don't see any taxis about. Now I'm sure the hotels will be able to offer a taxi service for you if you're staying in one of the hotels, but just bear in mind, obviously if you're using the hotel's taxis, they may end up working out a little bit dearer. Now you have got apps like Grab and InDriver and all the different ones that people are raving about online, but just bear in mind there's a reason why the prices are a lot cheaper than standard taxis. And I have covered this in my Facebook group about taxi apps and food apps and the reason why you're getting such good prices. Now I'm not going to say for every rider or driver, but a lot of the taxis that are using those apps are not licensed as taxis, which means they're breaking the law, which means they don't have any insurance. As you can see, not a lot open here. Now that bar there, the sunrise, the sunset bar, it says it opens at 6:30 in the evening. Well, if I come back, we're going to take a look and see whether it does actually open in the evening time. But as far as here, there's not a lot open. And I've taken a ride already up this hill, and again, unfortunately, there's not a lot open up there. There's a massage place that's open. There is, the massage place does have somewhere where you can eat as well. I'm not going to walk all the way back up there today. I walked up there the last time on the last video and not much has changed, and that's why I'm not going to walk up there. As I said, there is a couple of massage shops that are now open that wasn't open, and one restaurant that wasn't there that is open now, which I've filmed earlier on, so you will be able to see that. and really it's pretty much the same as it was, apart from a few businesses, which is a bit of a shame because we're now 12 months on, and this time last year I was saying that it looked like things were getting better, but we're another 12 months and things haven't really improved that much here in Panwa. Unfortunately, it's still very, very quiet. Well, as you can see, there's absolutely nobody about, not a soul, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, I don't expect Panwa to be jumping, but you would expect to see somebody about. Apart from the people that are maybe delivering or working on the promenade, there isn't anybody about. And I've noticed that the last time I came, there were a lot of these small vendors here, along here, but as you can see, they've also disappeared as well. Good morning, or should I say good afternoon? You on holiday here?
Yeah, I'm on holiday. You know 7-Eleven by any chance?
Yeah, you just got to walk to the end here, go round the bend, and it's on your right hand side, you'll see it.
Huh?
Yeah, it's only just round the bend. Okay, no problem. Okay, so there is somebody on holiday here. So if you're coming to this area, be prepared for it to be quiet, especially in the evening time. Well, as you can see, we did decide to take a ride over to Cape Panwa on the same evening that I shot the daytime footage, and what a surprise we were greeted with as well. As you can see, a lot of the street vendors had returned. Now, I'm not quite sure what time in the evening they actually appear, because this was just after 8 o'clock in the evening. And as you can see, there are a lot of street vendors offering some great Thai street food to try, and what a surprise we had. Now, I didn't take my microphone, I must admit, because I wasn't expecting this. From the scenes that we'd seen earlier in the day being so quiet, I was expecting just to grab a few B-roll shots and then come away, but because there was so much choice, we decided to have some food ourselves at Cape Panwa. I did notice that there were a lot of Thais enjoying the food. They were sitting along the promenade area and eating, but there were one or two foreigners. Now, I can't say whether they were tourists or whether they were people that were living in the area, because I didn't ask them, but there were more people about in the evening without a doubt, and that was really nice to say. As I say, we did grab some food. Nat had a Thai ice cream, which is a coconut ice cream, and she paired it with some glacier fruits. The exact toppings Nat knows, and she's not with me at the moment, so I can't tell you exactly what she had, but she said that it was very delicious, and I think that was 20 baht. And of course, I couldn't help myself. As you know, I like the Thai pancake, the roti, and there were two young guys there doing the rotis, so I decided to partake in a banana roti, as it'd be rude not to. And I've got to say, for 40 baht, it was absolutely delicious. So if you're going to Cape Panwa, whilst it is quiet in the daytime and there aren't that many shops open, at night time you are going to be able to try some of the famous Thai street food, because it does look like there are the smaller vendors there in the evening. But I would say that if you're coming here, I would strongly recommend you have your own transport, whether it be motorbike hire or a car. Obviously, you need the right licenses to hire a motorbike over here. People have been asking me about this recently. You do need a full motorbike license, not a car license with a provision for a scooter, because scooters don't exist in Thailand. Everything is classed as a motorbike, regardless of what foreigners call these scooters. They don't exist here in Thailand. They're listed as motorbikes. So you actually need a full motorbike license with an international permit to be legal to hire a motorbike. Now, I know a lot of people don't necessarily have all the correct documents and hire scooters anyway. That is an individual's own choice, but I wouldn't recommend it, because of course you're riding around with no insurance, and should you have an accident, you could potentially leave yourself open to an awful lot of payments money wise for damages caused. Now I know some of the hotels here do have their own restaurants and they're very nice, but it's whether you want to personally eat in the restaurant at the hotel every night for 2 weeks or however long you're staying here. As I said, Phuket Town is a great option because there's lots of choices, both daytime and evening for shopping. There's lots of choices. In the evening time you've got shopping, you've got the markets and all the restaurants to go along with it, so you're going to have a lot more to do. I'm not saying go into Phuket Town every night, but it would be good to be able to reach it. As I mentioned, I will try and find some taxi prices, and there is a taxi sign. At the minute I don't see anybody sitting there, so maybe when I come back over later on this evening with Nat when she finishes work and we take a ride over, if there's somebody there I'll get Nat to ask and I'll find out some prices, and I'll either drop it on the video or I will include the footage with the cameras if I bring it this evening, depending on what the weather's doing. As you can see at the moment the weather isn't too bad. The last 2 days we have seen quite a lot of rain, storms, high winds, but today is very, very nice. The forecast is still unsettled. Of course, if you're coming to Thailand at this time of year, you do have to expect some sort of rain. So again, as I've said, have a plan B in place. Should you be here and it rains, you've got a list of things that you can do. Maybe check out some of the tourist attractions that you can do no matter what the weather, whether it's raining or whether it's sunny. Things like the upside down house, maybe a spa day, maybe shopping at Central, something that gets you out the weather if it is raining. Now it doesn't rain all day long every day, as you can see, but sometimes it can be persistent. 2 days ago it rained virtually all day. Yesterday it rained on and off throughout the day. Today is nice. It's not rained yet, it's blue skies. Well, it's cloudy and broken skies, I should say, not blue skies. There's a little bit of cloud about, but it's not too bad, so just bear that in mind. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick look at the Panwa area. Now I was hoping that I would be able to bring you a better picture from here, and I haven't been over myself until today from last year, so I'm quite surprised that there hasn't been more of a recovery here. But unfortunately, as yet, it's not recovered very much. Now most of the hotels are actually open here, which is good news, but as regards actual smaller businesses, restaurants and shops, it's a mixture. There's a few here, and as you follow the main road going out, you are going to find 1 or 2 smaller restaurants open, 1 or 2 smaller shops, but they're not right on the front. You need to travel along the road, maybe a few kilometers, not really reasonable for walking, and that's why I say maybe look at possibly hiring some transport, because it's going to work out a lot cheaper than having to pay taxis all the time. Well, I guess that's covered everything that I want to cover on this particular video for Panwa. I hope you've enjoyed it, found it informative and interesting. Please do check out the description down below. I will have any relevant links down there, of course, all my social media, Facebook groups, etc. Please do feel free to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this area and how long you think it's going to be before we see any real recovery, bearing in mind now we are past the 1st of July and we don't have many restrictions in place. All the nightlife is now able to open till early hours of the morning. There's no real restrictions on the nightlife. They're back to what they were before or pre-COVID times. Most of the restrictions have now gone. Well, that just leaves me to say, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, you take care and I'll catch you on the next one.